Right here. See this? The Iron Army. The Iron Army. Frankie the Answer Edgar. All right. All right. Good morning, my friends. December 14th, 11 days till Christmas. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Santa Claus is coming to town. I'm so excited. You know, I watch people. You know, I watch plenty of things, you know, videos, whatever, podcasts, whatever, you name it. I watch plenty of things. And then little by little by little, you watch something over and over and over again, and you either really like that thing or little things start to annoy you. And you're like, I don't know if I want to watch that every day. I don't know if I want to hear that guy every day. I don't know if I want to see that thing every day. And, yeah, I realize some of the things I do might make you think, this guy's freaking annoying. Oh my gosh, he's such an idiot. If you do feel that way, I sincerely apologize. But that's me, my friends. It's me, my friends, and I apologize for that. Ben Brenneman did the one and only Ben the Hen Brenneman just show up here on Facebook Live, facebook.com/Charlie Spaniard. Are you really there, or is that an imposter? Today we're going to get a lesson in teamwork and togetherness. Teamwork and togetherness and connection. Are yuns ready to rock and roll? 1, 2, 3, go. Good morning, my friends, and welcome to the Spaniard Show. This is the Spaniard, and this is AMXbooks 635. Book we're studying today is The Boys in the Boat. Tremendous book. Get it. And if you want to help support the show, get it at charliespaniard.com/reading list. Now, this book has so many different sub-themes and plots and takeaways. Generally, when I read a book, you know, if a year passes, 6 months passes, whatever, I look back and I say, I learned this from the book, or this was the main takeaway from the book. And I truly feel like there's going to be 5 or 6 true takeaways from this book. Now, one of them that I want to talk about today, it's a combination of values, teamwork, togetherness, connection, all of those things. Let's just kind of boil them down to a positive human experience. That's kind of what I'm feeling when I'm reading this book. So I want to send a reminder, and I've said this a lot during this book, our time with this book, this idea of connection, togetherness, contributing to something bigger than you, mission above self. Here's a reminder that it's much bigger than you. Okay, so when these boys, when the team started winning and it was all converging, right? It was all coming together through their freshman, their sophomore, back for their junior year, about to win. Well, they didn't know it, but about to go on to the Olympics and win the Olympics. Here's a quote as to why that was happening. Quote, why they won cannot be attributed to individuals. Heartfelt cooperation all spring was responsible for victory. Everything had converged. Heartfelt cooperation. Now, I know many of you are in a team. I'm in a team. Whether you're formally in a team, like a high school principal or a boss or a CEO, you're also in a team if you have a family. 1,000,000% your family is your team. If you're in any sort of community, if you're connected to one or more people, you are in a team. Heartfelt cooperation. Do you have is there heartfelt cooperation in your school, business, organization, family, etc.? These guys actually had to raise money to go to the Olympics. They had to raise $5,000 of their own money within a few days to go to the Olympics. It got me thinking about my days as a young wrestler. So freestyle states, if you qualified freestyle states, the top 3, this is back when I was in junior high and high school, you qualified to go out to Fargo for the nationals, right? And if you won first place at the PA states freestyle, you got to go for free. You didn't have to pay anything. If you got second or third, you had to raise money to go out to Fargo. So even at a young age, I was reading this, getting all giddy about childhood wrestling. Even at a young age, we had to raise money to send us out to Fargo. So I'm reading this, and it was a 21-hour bus ride straight out of Clarion, Pennsylvania. If that ain't, and you had to be cutting weight, and you couldn't eat on the way out. And it was fun. Looking back, it was fun, but boy, was it miserable back then. So, quote, they were largely, this is the University of Washington boys, not us PA wrestlers. They were largely, unbeknownst to them, beginning to become national celebrities. They were now America's crew. not the University of Washington's. The W on their jerseys was about to be replaced with USA. So this whole idea here is about connection, finding something, how important that is, how important connection is. When I was fighting, one of the coolest things to me, I said this often before, is, one, the fact that people would go to these different cities and be together. There might be 20 or 30 friends and family there together. That in itself. Then after the fights, if it went well, I'd be in the shower, they'd be out in the hotel room, just being together, right? And either way, if I won, it was a celebration. If I lost, it was a consolation to me, consoling me, making me feel better. But it was that unity and that connection that I take with me, probably more so than anything else. And having this visual of people in my hometown watching on TV or gathering at a bar, a small bar, maybe the Old Canal or somewhere else in town. That feeling, being part of that, is so intrinsically valuable to your soul. Find somewhere to connect. Look outwardly. Find somewhere, a thing, some sort of connection that you have to a thing, and start to connect. Moving on, quote, "They were now representatives of something much larger than themselves, a way of life, a shared set of values." This was the country, right? These boys were representing the country, the United States of America. And don't forget the time frame in history that this was. These were tough times. Post-Depression, World War II is brewing, Hitler's rise is brewing. This is a powerful time in our history. A way of life, a shared set of values, liberty, perhaps the most fundamental. But the things that held them together, trust in each other, mutual respect, humility, fair play, watching out for one another, those were also part of what America meant to all of them. I'm going to repeat those values, and I want you to write them down, or at least think about them. Take one of them, right? You don't have to think about all of them. You don't have to think about, remember them all. Take one of them with you today. We have the big one of liberty, right? Freedom. Freedom. Here in our country, they're going over to a country where it wasn't that way. Mutual respect, trust in one another, humility, fair play, watching out for one another. Those are the essential values of a team. If you're the head of a team, if you're part of a team, ask yourself, remember the human symphony that we talked about, how a race is similar to a symphony? Ask yourself, what are you bringing to the table? Are you bringing any of those values to the table? And lastly, this is a fun mental image that you just can't not appreciate this image. As they're setting sail for Berlin on the Manhattan, out of the Hudson, okay? So you imagine 1936, the black and white photos, probably dressed to the nines, proper fedora hats and long coats, and all this joy and excitement, genuine joy and excitement of all these athletes getting on a boat in the Hudson in New York City, sailing off to Berlin, not even knowing. And I'm getting chills right now. It mentions in the book several what are now famous Olympic athletes who weren't famous back then. So all these athletes and coaches are having this proper send-off from the Hudson. It said, quote, "Like the 325 other members of the U.S. Olympic team boarding this ship, they were giddy, charged with earnest excitement." Isn't that the coolest thing ever? They were giddy. These were about to be Olympic gold medalists. People that I hold in high esteem. People that you hold in high esteem. The best of the best of the best. And they were giddy, charged with earnest excitement. They were wide-eyed. They were ready to rock and roll. As I'm reading that, I just made this note this morning. Don't let go of fun. You, listening here now, Facebook, YouTube, podcast, whatever. Don't let go of fun. That's part of the reason that I love AMX Kids so much, because you get to dive into these kids' books, and it brings us back to a time and place in life where it was so simple, and that's fun. It's fun to explore those thoughts. And as I'm reading this, reading about Joe Ranch growing old with his wife and winning Olympic gold and growing old with his team over the decades, how they continued their connection together. And I'm thinking, man, at one point in time, they were just giddy, charged with earnest excitement. Kids, don't lose that in your life. AMX 635, thanks for tuning in. Come back on Monday for 636. Reminder, AMX Weekly comes out on Saturdays, every Saturdays. CharlieSpaniard.com has my speaking information, my Patreon, patreon.com/CharlieSpaniard, if you'd like to support the show. See ya. Dred, I don't think I said that word. I don't think I said that word. Reminder, all of these are uploaded to YouTube. If you're part of a school, a business, and you want to use these videos to charge up your troops and teach them and get them thinking of this lifelong pursuit of the ideal, please use the videos. They're at youtube.com/Charlie Spaniard. I'll see you all later today when I record AMX Weekly. See you.